my headset setup that I've got on my race bike, because we got fed up of changing bars, and in the Spanish rules we were in the specials class anyway, so we didn't need to have the original handlebars. So we made up a set of bars for it, with the same sort of setup as the original, except I've got a gear wheel on the throttle here, which gives you a quicker action throttle. So we're running a Ducati master cylinder here for our front brake. So what I've also got is this, we made up this nice little fiberglass cover that fits on here, that screws on the top, so it still makes it look a bit like the original handlebar setup. Right. So what we've got to do, we've got to put ourselves a throttle cable in today, because the other throttle cable, as it was, the lambretta was sat around, instantly got robbed. Oh damn, I need a throttle cable. Out it came. So I'm going to have to put another throttle cable back in it, and it looks like we took the whole damn throttle cable out, inner and outer. So I've got to try and find me an outer cable now. Back in a minute. Okay, right. I managed to find a bit of new outer cable. What I'm going to do is, to lubricate it, I'm using the ss200. This is anti-corrosion, stops corrosion and lubricates really well. And it's good on throttle cables because it's nice and light. So I just add some to a sponge, like this, a little bit of sponge, and that lubricates the cable as it goes in. So we'll slide that in, bit more lube. So that will nicely give it a cut of this product. Apparently they use it on aircraft, it stops corrosion and lubricates and protects electrics as well, apparently. So that's good. I use it in the winter on practically everything. I use it all over my wheels and wheel rims, and stay away from your brakes. That don't work too good. But it really does protect your bike in the winter. So there we are. Cable's up this end now. Right, you've probably noticed that I haven't got the ferrule on the end of here. And that's because if I've got the ferrule on, it won't go in the adjuster on the carb. So that's the only reason it's missing. No, yep, that's pretty good. So we're going to set it up in the carb first. So this has got to come apart. I'll find one. There's got to be one somewhere. Now, if anybody's spotted that, no, maybe you haven't because it's not on the camera. Looking at my carb, there's a plate in here on my carb, and that's copied from an American design which they advertise, called an X-wing, because theirs is literally X-shaped. But what this does is give you a transition between the low end and top end, whereas as the throttle's in half position, it's getting the flow higher velocity and creating more torque. Then when it opens up past the plate, then you get the rest of it. Also, it stops airflow going against the slide and creating disturbance at the lower end. So this, it gives you a bit more torque out of corners and smooths out your carburation. It makes it a little bit easier to jet up. So it works quite well. Better. Yes, good. Okay, Right, haha, 20 boxes later, I managed to find a solderless nipple. So what we're going to do is offer it up to the side of the pulley so we can see where it's going to go. Give it a little nip up. As best as we can. Okay, that's tight. Snip it off. And now we're going to solder the back end of it. Right, we're going to put on a little bit of flux on it, onto the back of the nipple. Use a hot air gun to heat it up. Yeah, there. And then run some soldering. And that's it. Job's a good one. Don't put the hot air gun next to any electrical cables, it doesn't do them much good. So yeah, that needs to cool down a little bit now. And we'll put it into position. Right, it's cooled down a bit now. I should be able to just get that in thusly, and Bob's your uncle. Right, we have a throttle. Lovely jubbly. Okay, I've whipped my carb off to give it a bit of a clean. So you can have a little view of this plate that's in front here. Is that when it's level like this, it's only feeding from the bottom. So therefore you get a higher velocity of airflow. And then you're not getting any buffeting created by the slide above it. And then once you're on full bore, it's back to normal, and it does increase flow even on full throttle. And the other bit is in the rear of it. If you look, that lines up with the needle at the back and flows in, so it increases torque all round. So that's another little trick that you should not be looking at or seeing. It's top secret. Not for you to look, not for my eyes only. No, no, no. Right, some fresh juice in it. Chalk on. There's no kill switch, so it should be okay. Kill switch isn't on. Oh shit! God almighty! I'll break your bleeding leg, that will. No wonder you wear them big boots. Oh, I think a little bit of extra petrol. Oh shit, might help if I turn the petrol on. Bloody hell, come on son. Take two. Come on. She lives once more. I think I need to repack that baffle though. It's a bit loud, isn't it? Well loud. Okay, once it's been run a bit, it might stop smoking and run a bit cleaner, but the engine's still cold yet, so that'll do.